Hello my little YouTubers. If you've seen the Planet of the Apes, then you know that at some point in the future the apes will rule us. In this video I'll explain why they can already outperform us on some high functioning tasks and why they will eventually out-evolve us too. I will show footage of apes talking and doing intelligence tests that I or you would fail. My name is Master J, and before the apes take over, why not subscribe to this channel, Original MCW? And as we're a new channel, it really does help if you do subscribe. It might take a long time, but in the end, apes will intellectually own us. And it will be our own fault. We went inside, we chose homes, comforts and safety. We don't need to be fit or able to survive. We used to hunt and gather, now we have Amazon Prime. Statistically, each year the world's population is getting fatter, lazier and more stupid. And the gene pool is not promoting the fittest and brightest because we now value money and clout much higher. The final nail in the human race's coffin is that statistically the less intelligent a couple is, the more children they will have. So the percentage of less bright human offspring grows exponentially year on year. They still live in the wild. They have to survive. Every day they have to fight for their lives. They choose their mates based on strength and fitness. They're clearly evolving into a more and more advanced species. If you don't believe this, you can see the differences between us and apes just by looking on TikTok. Okay, I'm sure the apes have done a lot of dumb things, but they're just not stupid enough to then upload those videos afterwards. This is the chimp test. You get shown some numbers on the screen, you have to select the numbers in ascending order. In the easiest version of the test, as soon as you touch the one digit, then the remaining numbers get immediately masked by white squares. To complete the exercise, you have to remember the location of each number, and again touch them in the correct order. In the harder version, the numerals appear on the screen for 650, 430 or 210 milliseconds and are then replaced by blank white squares. The chimps easily remember the locations, even at the shortest duration, which does not leave enough time for the eye to move and scan the screen. This suggests they have some kind of eidetic or photographic memory. It's also why you should never let a chimp see your ATM password. Wow, does it not blow your mind that the chimps just know the order of numbers? Wow, does it not blow your mind that they can be distracted and then just come back and still know all the numbers and the orders? Watching these tests, you might think we've already lost the battle. But don't worry, I'm going to debunk these tests. And I'm going to teach you how to beat these chimps at their own game that we invented for them. Yeah. Numbers for humans are really hard to memorize. And I know this more than anyone because part of my mentalism act, I had to memorize 20,000 of them. 20,000. Oh, if only I knew that pi went up that high before I started. What do you mean it goes higher? How much higher? I might as well learn all of them at the start of now. Infinity. Motherfuck. Numbers are so hard to memorize that memory champions don't. Instead, they substitute letters for each number. They convert numbers into consonants, then into words by adding vowels. The system works on the principle that images can be remembered much more easily than numbers. So vowels are blanks. Then you just come up with words that fit the number sequence and memorize those words. Pi starts off with motor, tulip, and then notch. To memorize the list, I link the words two at a time. So the first two words are motor and tulip. And with an image of a tulip with wheels, like a car. Then I link tulip to notch, and I see like an angry tulip cutting notches into a tree because he hates the way the tree just looks down on him all the time. Then I'll go on to match notch with the next word in the list, and so on. Which should give you It's been, because of the virus, it's been over a year since I last performed, so I've genuinely had no practice. I'm just going to give this a go. May or may not work. So we've got motor, which is 314 or 3.14, tulip 159, notch 26, loom 53, lava 58, pickup 979, moon 32. It'd be easier without the words. Mover 384, change 626, 43, 38, 327, 950, 28, 841, 971, 6939, 93. This is a great act, this, isn't it? 751, 058, 2097494, 4592 307 816 4062 8620 899 86280 34 825 342 1170 67. For humans, orders of numbers are stupidly difficult to memorize. To the chimps, these numbers have a hierarchy, but they are patterns. They represent something easier and clearer that they can just remember. Bloody show-offs. I bet I could beat them at a game of Candy Rush, though. These chimps, they had extensive practice and training learning the mechanics of the experiment, while the human participants did not. This was clearly an unfair test. But I'm now going to teach you how, if you train at it, you can beat the chimps. First off, practice seeing 3 triangles. Make the points of the triangles for the first one where the numbers 1, 2 and 3 are. Second one, 4, 5, 6. And the last one where the numbers 7, 8 and 9 are. Now just master that. I kind of always know where the triangles start, so the 1, the 4 and the 7. So I just add an imagined red dot to the end point of each triangle, the 3, the 6 and the 9. Then I can easily recollect the numbers and where they are on the screen just by seeing those triangles. The chimps, they practice this daily for 5 years. You can outperform them in a fraction of that time. The chimps got a reward for getting each one right. The humans didn't. This isn't a fair test. An inequality like that changes how participants will perform. If you don't believe me, see how an inequality of reward affected our simian cousins here.
So she gives a rock to us, that's the task. And we give her a piece of cucumber and she eats it. The other one needs to give a rock to us. And that's what she does.
Now these little guys are capuchin monkeys. The ones they'd used in previous tests were both rewarded with cucumber, and they had happily completed the rock-giving task repeatedly.
And she gets a grape. And she eats it. The other one sees that. She gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber.
The scientist had asked why she had to wear a mask for this experiment, and the person who had the job before her said, "For the love of God, wear a mask."
She needs to give it to us. And she gets cucumber again.
The monkey on the left is thinking, this is not fair. The monkey on the right is thinking he's getting grapes because he's really good at giving back rocks. In the chimp test, as I said, the chimps got a reward for getting each one right and the humans didn't. It was an unfair test because I don't know about you, but I'm going to do substantially better at a test if I know there's a cake in it for me. Cake me. There you go. Cake me. Cake me. Now you can all have your cake and eat it. If you like this sort of nonsense, do please subscribe to the channel. We are a new channel and it really does help so much. And maybe leave a comment below. Do you think the apes and monkeys are going to rule us? And if so, what are you most looking forward to? So monkeys and their tailless brothers apes might soon be able to outperform us, but at least we still have the unique ability to speak. Alas, that uniqueness has been chipped away at, and it's our own fault. Humans have been teaching other primates language skills for decades.
You maniacs! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Chimps have already shown that they can learn sign language. As soon as they evolve a more sophisticated voice box, we are screwed. They're all going to be starting their own podcasts. Why are we teaching them? The scientists running these experiments should be shot as collaborators.
¿Listos?
You realize this means an angry letter to the Times.
Apuntar! Fuego!
So long, suckers!
Apunto! Fuego!
I mean, look at Coco. We gave her the power of speech and she uses it to tell us humans how stupid we are. But all is not lost. Washu in the 1960s might have learnt around 250 signs, but she used them mostly to ask for food, and so she and the other chimps in the experiment all ended up massively overweight.
Eat. Where? Where? Eat. Where? Over there.
Nim Chimpsky in the 1970s, the conclusion was the ape's gestures showed no syntax, no semantic regularities that seemed truly language-like. Basically, they were saying he spoke like a Scouser. They continued that he was largely parroting back what his teachers were signing to him. Eich, I ain't no parrot, eich. Calm down. Who's a pretty boy, he? Gerard. Then we have the most famous example, Coco. Francine Patterson claimed Coco the gorilla had mastered American Sign Language and knew 1,000 signs, using them to tell jokes, make puns, and metaphors. However, Patterson's big claims were not backed up by any data. Many linguistics believe that Patterson denied other scientists access to both Coco and her raw data because she knew if an unbiased third-party researcher had a chance to check out either, it would become obvious that Patterson's claims were unsupported by any actual evidence. The only time anyone got to observe Coco, they had to do so with Patterson being present and being the one to interpret her signs into English. And the films and videos were highly edited, so who knows what other gestures she made between the desired ones. In short, it was a massively flawed 4-decade experiment. From the footage we do have, it seems Coco learned up to 250 signs, and not the over 1,000 as stated. Adult humans have an average vocabulary of 40,000 words. Coco's word count was around the level of a 2-year-old human. When was the last time you had a full conversation with a 2-year-old? I blacked out, man, I blacked out. Now, before your parents get back, was it you or me who threw up in the fish tank? What does that mean? What? Coco's grammar was worse than that of a 2-year-old. She couldn't put more than 2 or 3 words together at one time, and rarely even did that. In other words, Coco would make signs that were largely nonsense, and Patterson would then read into the signs and make them make sense. Here is an example conversation along with what Coco actually signed.
You, Coco, love do need you.
Coco love what?
Love their chase need do.
The tree she wants to play in it.
No, the girl behind the tree.
What? Is this what Francine Patterson meant by Coco uses metaphors and puns? I mean, was metaphors and puns a metaphor for talk's absolute garbage? Coco would sign something random, and then Patterson would dig deep to find something she could cobble together to present that wasn't totally nonsensical. I'm not for hating on the ape. This is not coming from a place of anger just because Coco was the one who broke up the Beatles. I think he means Yoko. Gerard. Here is one of the only live chats Coco did. It was on AOL.
Hey, cutie, let me explain what we're going to do. Fine. We're going to be on the phone with a lot of people who are going to ask questions. Nibble.
What are the names of your kittens and dogs?
Foot.
Foot isn't the name of your kitty. Coco, what's the name of your cat?
No.
She just gave some vocalizations there, some soft puffing. Do you like to chat with other people?
Fine, nipple.
Nipple rhymes with people. She doesn't sign people past A. She was trying to do he sounds like. Patterson explained to the audience that by nipple, Coco meant people, and that the gorilla was somehow rhyming, even though she was using sign language to communicate. Just from the transcriptions I've read, Patterson has interpreted Coco signing nice as rice, foot as man, lip as woman. To be fair, they do talk a lot. Don't say that's sexist. Coco's from the 80s, things were different then. Bean as cookies, or shoes, or artichokes, or toy tiger, or jello. When all else fails, an out-of-context word, Patterson will interpret it as boredom or an insult, or as bizarre guerrilla humour. Put bluntly, Coco's signing was littered with non sequiturs and gibberish. Or should that be gibbonish? Going back to the clip of Coco giving a warning to humans about preserving our environment, the sign language offers an amazing interpretation of what Coco is saying, but go back and watch it. The 50-second video is 20 different clips, 20 cuts in 50 seconds. It's arranged by a human to make a statement that a human wanted to make, and those clips are all of gestures that were almost certainly coaxed and held no meaning to Coco. If she had have put the message into her own words, it would have been nibble. Coco's last words, Patterson says the night before she died in her sleep, aged 46, in June 2018, she signed her last 2 words, and they were patient and old. Patterson said Coco was saying, hey, I'm getting on. Well, I've only got one thing to say to that. And you don't need to know sign language to know what this one is, because we all know bullshit when we see it. I started this video off by saying that apes would out-evolve humans. I then showed some very impressive feats, and then I somewhat debunked them. Just because we are already, as a species, too stupid to properly impart our wisdom onto our simian brethren, doesn't mean that they haven't already evolved proper speech and higher functioning thinking. But maybe for now, they're just keeping this to themselves. Do please subscribe to this channel. We are new, it really does help. And if this video gets 1,000 likes, we will do a follow-up video on other amazing monkeys and apes, including the most impressive talking chimp in the world, Kanzi, and his children, who will probably be the first non-human apes to go to college. Till next time, see you later, my little YouTubers. Something like that.